Greetings, Skill Incarnate bringing you all the latest indie gaming goodness. Welcome back as we look at another indie game. This time we're checking out Grime. This game was developed by Plethora Games and is a 2D Metroidvania Soulslike game. This is set in a Lovecraftian world full of stone horrors, and the only reason I didn't cover it was that I wasn't very confident in my Dark Souls skills. As you know, I've been really enjoying the Soulslike genre, and I've gotten somewhat competent at it. And with the development of the expansion pack Colours of Rot, it was a perfect time to check this game out. We're going to have a look at the expansion today, and I'm going to let you know why you should check out Grime. We begin the game in a stone cavern. We don't know who we are, we don't know what we are, and we don't know why we're here. All we know is that we need to literally pull ourselves together and to find a way to escape if we're going to get any answers. This game has a very unique art style, and it's what drew me to the game originally. But the mere mention of Dark Souls and Souls-like games was what put me off. Originally, I was a Dark Souls hater. I thought the games were stupid and I just couldn't get myself into them. And then developers started sending me games, and I started playing Dark Souls and I started getting better at it. And for some reason, I just never got around to talking to the developer of this game. I saw them and I played many other games, including Morbid, including Dark Souls, of course, Bloodborne, and I've just never gotten the chance to play this game. So it's really an interesting game because it has a very different style of play to some of the other Souls games I've played. The game has a very heavy emphasis on parrying. Now, this is something that you can actually get away with avoiding in most Souls games, but in this game, parrying is essential to basically making any progress in the game at all. The only way to heal yourself is to perform a successful parry. And if you're going to want to get through some of the boss battles, you're going to want to get really good at parrying really quick. And once you learn the timing, it's actually not that hard to pull off. You can see here that enemies have breath, and their breath is basically their life energy. Performing a successful parry will allow us to drain their life and add it to our own. Like so. So, one of the things I love about playing this game is that it has improved my parrying skills and made it much easier to play other Souls games. Because successfully parrying and learning how to parry can make your gaming experience a lot easier. And I would argue in certain games like Bloodborne, you really aren't going to get very far without learning the parry. Here we can use some of the life energy of our enemies to upgrade ourselves. And this will give us a bit more energy. These are basically, think of them as your bonfires. They're called levelums, and basically they're a place where we can rest, recuperate, restore our health, and also regenerate the enemies in the map, allowing us to attack them for a little bit more experience. Now this game has some very, very sharp controls. I'm playing with the mouse and keyboard. Not something I'd recommend you do, but it's still a very doable game. If you can get this on the console, I highly recommend it. But the PC experience is more than serviceable. You can see here I've gotten pretty decent at the parry. When I started the game, I couldn't get anywhere because I had no way of restoring my health until I learnt to get good at parrying. Get away, you uglies. Beautiful. Perfection. Forgive me. For a moment I thought you were one of the misshapen and disgusting brethren. You are not like them. Your proportions are sublime. Well, I'll admit I'm pretty stacked. Flawless one, please let me serve. I can be of use to you. I will look for anything that can be of use. I will find you a gift worthy of your divine attention. Okay, well, if you start with a weapon, I would be most grateful. For now, we're going to have to get by on our wits and our parrying skills. With that being said, the parry is an incredibly powerful ability. In the Dark Souls games, the parry is often used in conjunction with a counter-attack, a riposte. In this game, the mere act of pulling off a parry is often an insta-kill on most enemies. And if you're going to want to stand any chance in the boss battles, you're going to have to get damn good at it. Because there's no healing flasks, there's no Estus flasks in this game. We're doing quite well though. And we've found a shortcut back to the monolith. Right now we're going to continue. As we find additional weapons, we'll be able to break open the walls and find additional secrets. But for now, we'll continue on. Our friends are back. Flawless one, I have found a gift worthy of you. The Carven use this stick to crush their disgusting lesses into useful materials. Our first weapon. Now we can carry up to 2 weapons. We'll get some more later on. As you can see though, I'm using this experience as a bit of practice on how to parry. Some of the bigger enemies like that hand, you really aren't going to want to try and fight them straight up. You're going to want to use the parry because they take a huge amount of punishment. And I love it that in this game the combat is incredibly well refined. Here we've got our first beacon, which will allow us to return, fast travel to any other beacon on the map. Unfortunately, we don't have any unlocked yet. Now, force is basically our stamina. And we want to try and manage our stamina as much as possible. Because if we run out of stamina, much like many other Souls games, we are completely helpless. Weapons like this big axe will consume a large amount of stamina. So we want to keep our eye on the stamina bar at all times. Now, some of these big enemies, we cannot parry them. Our best bet is to stay back and to use our parry move to create some distance so we can more easily take them out. Very nice. Now I could go up there, but I'm curious to see what is below. So we've found our first piece of armor. Very useful. That's going to, it will slow us down a little bit. And I definitely recommend if you're a bit more of an advanced player, you want to try and keep armor that's not too heavy. I tend to be a more evasive player. I don't like relying on armor and especially heavy shields too. I like to try and be mobile. And the same could be said about this game. You can bulk yourself up with a heap of armor if you want. But to be honest, I think really understanding the parry is the best way to be able to succeed in this game. Because as you can see, the parry is incredibly powerful even against ranged attacks. I managed to knock that enemy's attack back against him. Now we're getting a lot of energy. We can use some of this to upgrade our character. And I'm also keeping my eye out for additional weapons. Speak of the devil. So here we've got the twin fangs. You can have two weapons, and really you want to try and keep a mix of light and heavy weapons so that you have something for all occasions. I love these daggers, and they're very useful against the more mobile enemies, but the big guys like this, sometimes a little bit of extra grunt means all the difference. Some enemies like this that are covered in spikes, we can't parry them. We have to take them out the old-fashioned way. But a lot of the big enemies like these giant hands are incredibly weak against a well-timed parry. Now there's also some secrets around here. Here we go. Ah, here we go. More armor. So now we've got some decent armor, we're going to be able to take a bit more punishment. But you are incredibly squishy in the game. Armor is not going to give you a massive amount of protection, and often your best bet is still to remain mobile and to not get hit in the first place. Oh, nice try, buddy. Well, as you can see, he does a fair amount of damage. And he seems immune to spikes. But we now have ourselves a hunt point, which is very useful. The hunt points are basically a reward for hunting down and killing a certain number of enemies. That's going to take us back to the start of the level, so we're going to keep on trucking. I love the architecture of these levels too. You can see in the background there are living eyes, moving areas of stone. Everything in the game has this kind of organic feel. And I love it. Now we've got our hands on some of these nails. They're ranged weapons that we can use in a pinch. And they're definitely not something you want to rely on. Ranged weapons in the Souls games are often more of a distracting weapon or a weapon to finish enemies off rather than a replacement for melee combat. I think this is going to be another... Nope. Yep, another shortcut back. We can drop down here. Now, this guy isn't our friend. We are wrong. A mistake. My body, it shouldn't look like this. I can feel it. I know it. My thoughts, my words, they come from a dead thing. Accursed breath. Life forced into unwilling dirt. This is how I'm meant to be. Give it back, or I'll break it off you. Yeah, unfortunately, you messed with the wrong piece of stone. Now we can get that upgrade over here. Very nice. Now all of these upgrades we can use later on. Some of them are weapons. You can see here that this will allow us to absorb more breath, making our parry more useful. This is going to give us more mass. And this reduces ranged attacks, so very, very nice. This is basically allowing us to return to the nearest monolith. And these are hand grenades. All very useful weapons, but for obvious reasons I'm going to hang on to them until we hit a boss. Until we hit a more difficult area of the game. Now I believe the stone's back here. Oh no. We'll get a fair distance. We'll press on. Now we've been this way. Let's continue. Now we've got a heap of ranged weapons. We've got some upgrades we can use. We're going to need all of them for the boss. You can farm. So if you want to have a heap of ranged weapons and you want to try and spend some time giving yourself a bit of an edge against the boss, you can also find these blood metal splinters. Think of them basically as blood shards. If you played the Souls games, this is basically a gem that you can work into your weapon to give it some additional damage or some additional stats to improve it. They're of course very rare, so you want to make sure that you're using it on the weapon that you're most comfortable with. Over here, shimmering one. This wall can't be broken from your side. You can get here through a path from above. Thank you, my friend. Excellent. So now where we can use some of our hunt points, which are basically upgrade points we get from destroying certain enemies, and we can then steal their powers to use ourselves. So destroying a certain amount of one enemy will allow me to steal some of their abilities. So we've got two choices here. Repelling an attack damages the attacker. Restores 25% of your total force on a successful absorb or repel. Very useful. I mean, both of them seem to be quite useful. So we can get stamina from doing a parry, or we can damage the attacker with a parry. I think I'm damaging the attacker is going to be... yeah, I'm going to use that. And we're also going to drop some more points into stamina and strength. Looking good, baby. There we go. So now we've got a bigger health pool and a bigger stamina pool. That means we can take more hits, and we also can give out a bit more punishment before we have to wait for our stamina to recharge. Now there's a bit of light parkour elements in the game. You often will... I mean, this is going to be a bit of a challenge. Oh, damn. Okay. It's going to be a challenge. Oh, nice. Second try. We got a few seconds to pull that off. Very nice. Now this game, it really throws you into the action without any sort of break. You have to get really good at this game very fast. And if you can't learn the mechanics of the parry, you're just going to die a ton. Trust me, I've been there. Very nice. We've got ourselves a little shortcut we can use through to the next area. We need to find some enemies that we can parry. Oh, damn, so the parry actually won't kill him. So some enemies are actually resistant to the parry and are better off just killed with straight attacks. Yeah, this guy's going to be in... Oh, damn, he was waiting for me. So it's all about, much like the Dark Souls games, it's all about working out what enemies require what approach. You know, do you attack them straight up? Or do you bait them out for a parry? Do you swap to a different weapon? Do you use your daggers as opposed to your axe? And, I mean, we're not even getting into the expansion here. I don't even know if I'll be able to show you some of the expansion. I think you have to get a little bit further into the game. We will be able to get from the notes some of the weapons and the armor from the expansion, but I think I'll have to actually finish the base game. I am so disgusted by my brethren. How dare they attack one such as you? It's not your fault they're misshapen and disgusting. Okay, we need to leave this place. You have to get past the biggest ugly of them all. Break through its ugly face. I mean, it's not much of a fun world. You're in, everybody hates each other. I believe we're up against the boss. And even I'm not dumb enough to take the boss on without at least recharging my health. So I'm going to try and see if I can find some enemies to hit up. Or at the very least, we can find a monolith to restore our health. That's going to respawn the enemies, but that's also... Oh, no, okay. Yeah, I don't think I want to go through that again. Ah, here we go. Get ourselves some sweet, sweet parry action. Boom, health filled. These just gimme kills now. Oh, nice, an extra weapon. Sometimes it's worth doing a bit of digging. Now I'm going to try the mace because it might be a... Ah, okay, it's a two-hander. Now, I'm not a big fan of two-handed weapons. I think they're a little too slow. They're not my style. I like weapons that are fast and precise. I'll also like the opportunity to refill my health as much as I can. Here we go. Excellent. So now we're in a good spot to take on the first boss of the game. And he's not easy. It's going to be a significant challenge, but that being said, I've played a few of these games now, so I know my way around the Dark Souls universe a little bit better than what I did before. Now we're absolutely going to want to be parrying and remaining mobile. There we go. A successful parry will destroy one of his arms. Like so. doing massive damage. Oh, damn it. I can't block that. But I can rip off one of his arms. Oh, we're not doing well. Oh, there we go. There's my parry. There's my parry at. There we go. One more to do the trick. So the goal is to hit him. Obviously we want to hit him. Get those free parries. Watch your stamina. Damn it. There we go. Oh, look at that. Man, I wasn't even trying. Very nice. And that was the first boss of the game. One of the things I love about this game is that the bosses are very, very inventive. And also, by killing them, we will gain massive power and special abilities that will help us against further bosses. You can see here that we've gotten a new ability which will allow us to get more mass from defeated foes, and basically this will allow us to level up faster. Let's head on out of here and talk to our friend. We don't have any way out yet. Nope. And we can't dodge. We may need to come back here. Yep. That's okay. We'll come on back. Our goal now is to climb to freedom. And we've finally made it out of the labyrinth into the sun. But our journey isn't at an end, it's only just beginning. So hopefully you enjoyed this first look at Grime. I would love to play more of the game and show you more, because this is really a fantastic game. It's got a really nice tight battle system, excellent controls, interesting enemies, a unique way to look at the Souls series. And it has actually made me a better Souls player playing this game. I really like it all around, and I do highly recommend that if you do want to pick up a game that is an interesting and unique look at the Soulsborne series, if you're just looking for another Souls game, this is an excellent choice. I'd like to thank the developer for a copy of the game, and if you want to see more of the game, I am going to be playing a little bit more. Perhaps we'll be doing some streams on Twitch where I can show you the expansion. But yeah, go and check this game out, and hopefully you'll join me next time when we look at another indie game. Until then, Skill Incarnate, out.